It's TA with MK. It's TA with MK. Gents and ladies, no time to waste. Don't be afraid, it's time to trade. Let's start your brains like high-speed trains. Storm these games like hurricanes. It's time to save this herd this days. Put on your cape and learn the phrase. It's TA with MK. It's TA with MK.
Am I some dog you come to me with a wafer on your head?
I come to you in the name of Crypto, god of decentralized, which you have taunted.
Crypto is a bubble!
I'll show you a bubble. Welcome back to another episode of TA with MK. My name is MK. Looks like we got the Bitcoin pullback that we discussed as an option in yesterday's video, along with the S&P 500 having a small pullback. How deep will the retrace go? We're going to discuss that from a bullish and a bearish scenario, as well as two coins that have some upcoming news that I'm going to keep an eye on if and when we do bounce. If you're liking the content, please remember to like and subscribe, and let's go. Okie dokie, so real quick, this is the SPX, or the S&P 500. We had this rising channel we've discussed in yesterday's video that had potential to break down today. The measured move for that is the bottom of my green box, so, we're kind of on our way there right now. Doesn't mean it'll happen all at once, so, it may start to form kind of like a falling wedge. Maybe we get a bounce and it comes up a little bit, bearishly retests the underside of this red zone that it was trying to flip as support but wasn't able to. Then maybe it pushes down, and just because that's the measured move, that doesn't mean that's where it'll stop. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on this because it could start a bigger downtrend. If you pull up the fib retracement from this bottom to the top of swing low to swing high for right now, we've got the fib levels of 382 could be where it could bounce, which should be right here. 0.5 is a super common area for a bounce. It's also would be in confluence with previous, kind of support there, resistance there. So, maybe we travel all the way down there before we actually put in some sort of a double bottom and push back up. And then I just quickly wanted to go over the Bitcoin weekly chart. I want to focus on a couple of candles. So you could see this is the candle from back in August, when we were able to break and close part of the body above 46,000, I want to say the levels, 46,400. And this previous candle that we just closed, so this is last week's candle, the body of it barely got above and closed above that, right? And so what I'm kind of focusing on is the following week after we were able to make that breakthrough previously back in August. Well, then that next week's candle, it had quite a bit of volatility. It went as high as 50. It went as high as 50K and as low as 44K. And we haven't reached 50K this week by any means. I think the highest we got was, a little over 48,000. But I was kind of expecting this week to have some volatility similar to what that week experienced. But the key to me is that we close above this level that we're below it right now. But from the bullish perspective, if in the next 3 days, 4 hours, 3 days and 4 hours from now, if we're able to close this weekly candle back above 46,600, that would be pretty bullish to me. If we're not able to and we're back down below it, you can kind of see what these candles in the past that have been below it have done. Back here, actually, when this candle closed below it, this was, of course, a downtrend instead of, we're in an uptrend right now. But back here, when it closed, it had a huge drop. It's just kind of a key level to me. You can see back here even. This level of about 44,800 is also important. So if we don't close this week's candle above, we definitely need to hold that next level, about 44,800-ish to me to remain bullish. Otherwise, we may start some sort of a little miniature downtrend again. come back down here and visit some of these levels like 40K, between like 40 and 42K. And then this is the Bitcoin 1 hour chart. So we're zooming in. We've been discussing this large rising channel that broke to the upside. Looked like it was going to retest it, potentially push higher, but it did end up breaking down. Now it's back inside of the pattern. We could probably even extend this little trend line back out here. But I did mention in yesterday's video that it breaking down could represent, because the measured move was basically it coming back down and testing these 200. And right now we've still put in, high, higher, high, higher, high, higher, high, higher, high, and then, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. And right now we're still a higher low. So to remain bullish, we kind of need this level to hold. Even if we retrace a little further, we at least need about 45K to hold. If 45K doesn't hold and we break down below this previous low right around here, then we can expect a downtrend to start. And we could be coming back down, like I discussed just in the weekly chart, to some of these levels between, 42 and 43K, which once again wouldn't be the end of the world, but from the bullish side, we'd love to see this 200 moving averages hold and one more impulse wave higher. And if we do get that, then I expect this next impulse wave to be the one that tests 50K. All right, and then the first of the two coins we're going to discuss today is Alpha. Now, this was previously Alpha Finance. They have some news coming where they're actually rebranding as Alpha Venture DAO to help builders tap the best mindshare in Web3. And so, we like to just kind of focus on where the attention is. And often when companies rebrand or coins rebrand, there's going to be a lot of hype around it. They're going to do some marketing, things of that nature. So it has potential upside, and that's what we're looking for, right? And so it had this long downtrend it was in that it broke out of recently and retested. Back here on the 26th of March, right? It broke above and retested this large downtrend line. What I'm looking for now is back here with my red zone. This was previously, it bounced here as support at the bottom, bounced here as support at the bottom, right? And then recently this zone has acted as resistance. So what we're looking for and what I have alerts set on is if we can break above 45, maybe 46 cents, and then retest that as support, that would be a good entry. You also don't have, there's some VPR resistance, but it's not nearly as bad here as it is down here, right? So it could move through that area pretty quickly. If you do get some sort of a pullback, a lot of charts look like this where they kind of had this low, and then they had the final low, and if they do pull back again, they're going to create inverse head and shoulders. So if you don't get the initial breakout, set an alert down here at this strongest area on the VPR. It's also the point of control on the daily that it was able to break and retest. So if you get a retest of about 38 cents, that would be an amazing entry. Otherwise, the break and retest of around 46 cents. And then if we pull our fibs from the top to the bottom, the reverse of what you normally do to kind of look for targets. Often when a coin bounces like it is doing, what you could kind of expect is it to at least trend up and test the 0.5. So should be able to get a good run out of this, at least back up into the mid 55, 56 cent range. It could also travel as high as the golden pocket, obviously, which is closer to 70 cents. So that could represent some pretty decent gains. So keep your eyes on Alpha. All right, and the last coin for the day is Fear. Now this is a play to earn metaverse type coin. Small cap, ultra small. It's actually only 8.5 million. So a little bit higher risk, but obviously this would be the type of coin you wouldn't allocate very much of your portfolio to, but it has, the 5 to 10x potential if the bull run gets going again. And it's similar to that last chart. You kind of have this inverse head and shoulders forming. If you get a pullback here, your best entries on this are going to be back down here where this bounced. Anything around, 53 cents, even a pullback down to 60 cents would represent, some spots that would be good to DCA in. If Bitcoin has a larger pullback and this thing comes all the way back down to even like 45 cents, that'd be your best entry. But otherwise, as far as a breakout move goes, what I'm looking for is you have this little red zone. We want to see it break and flip like between 70 and 72 cents as support. And if so, this thing's basically pre-programmed to head back up here to at least this area right here of resistance, where it was resistance here and back here, right? It's also kind of where the VPR sticks out. So you should be able to see this thing run pretty quick if it's able to break and flip 70 cents back up to like $1. You'd want to start taking profits probably at $1 just because that's a round number. A lot of people will have sell orders stacked there. But if it's able to break that, then I would expect it to get up to the $1.20-ish range. And then we just kind of take it level by level after that. But keep your eyes on Fear. And that will about do it for today. If you guys are liking the content, please remember to like and subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and have yourselves a beautiful day. It's tea A.